Today is March 19th, 2023, and I got to sit up for half an hour at a time today. So I'm already making progress. As long as my skin holds up and doesn't break down, I should just keep continually extending that time, and I'll be back in the chair in no time, and hopefully, back to somewhat normal life again. So I'm excited for that. I've got all these little irritating things that are happening from me laying in bed all the time. I got this PICC line thing is starting to itch a bunch, and my eye is still bothering me, and my muscles are twitching randomly. So I'm excited to get to a place where I can just take care of my health and feel normal again. It's going to be nice. What I wanted to talk about today is this trend I've been seeing a lot of, and it's in a broad sense, it's just being critical of other people. And it's all over social media. There's social media beefs going on, I've seen, and people just totally going at it. And then there's other people making reactions to the downfall of other people, and pointing out all their flaws and saying how they're so horrible and all this stuff. And you see it in the news and politics and all these different areas. But it seems like it's more prevalent than ever. People are just hyper critical of others and just really want to poke at their flaws. And it's not exactly bearing false witness that I'm seeing. They're not making up stuff about other people, although that does happen too. But in general, it's just this more critical view of others and really pointing at their flaws. And I think social media, again, is a big part of it. When you see everyone else's highlight reel and maybe you're not living up to what you think is that ideal that you see everywhere, then instead of trying to get yourself to a better spot, it's just easier to put down others. So that's part of it. I think some of it's just gossip, and again, there's something interesting about other people failing at life. And again, I think it's kind of that same idea where it's I have all these faults. So if I see someone else failing, then it makes me feel better about all the things that I have a problem with in my life. And so when we're not secure in our identity and able to own our faults, then I think we can get into this kind of critical way of viewing other people. And I see it in the dating world as well. People have developed these incredibly high standards, and there's nothing wrong with having standards. Standards are good. There should be non-negotiables, and if someone has character flaws and they're really mean to other people, or they're very vain and self-centered or things like that, don't date someone who's like that. But what I'm talking about is more these really trivial things. Someone will be oh, I met this and this person, and they were just really good looking. They had a lot going for them in their lives. They were really nice to other people, kind people. But they wore the color green, and it's not my thing. It's what? You just expect this Instagram model of a person to just fall into your life. And again, I think that's largely due to social media and what we're seeing on there all the time. But again, it's just this like seeing other people's flaws and just being totally unforgiving. That's not what love is. Like, love is recognizing that someone else is going to have flaws and you work with them through it and you deal with it sometimes. And you stay with them even though they do this thing that bothers you or have this trait that bothers you. Because love like bears all things, as Paul says. Love should be humble in a way, like recognizing your own faults too. And so this hypercritical way of viewing the world, I think, is leaving a lot of people unsatisfied. And if we could just be more forgiving of other people's faults, I think we would have a lot more connections in our lives, and we would have a lot more love in our lives and just better relationships and everything, because we have problems too. All of us do. And we need to be able to realize that perfect people don't exist. Like, you're not going to find perfect people. And so just be very careful when you start to want to criticize someone for something, or really, if you're attracted to watching other people criticize someone. I think we need to be careful with that stuff. So that's all I have for today. Peace.